help the poor, neglected, women and especially the handicapped to get their rights, to help them procure a livelihood and at least a square meal, to assist them in realizing a dignified life and encouraging them to understand the importance of professional, job-oriented education and adequate health facilities, to help the unemployed seek employment and to make sure that the government plans issued and subsidized for their benefits actually prove helpful to them. These are some of the primary goals of the voluntary organization AIM, which is working on these concerns in 42 villages of the Lakhimpur district of Uttar Pradesh.
एम ने जब अपना काम शुरू किया था तो शुरुआती दिनों से ही ये समस्याएं हमारे सामने आई कि लोगों को जानकारी नहीं है। हम लोगों ने जब लखीमपुर खीरी जनपद में सामुदायिक संगठन बना करके आम लोगों का संगठन खड़ा करके जब इस बात को लेकर चले कि इतनी सरकारी योजनाएं आ रही हैं, यूपी की सरकार, भारत की सरकार उसको लागू कराने का प्रयास भी कर रही है, फिर भी लोगों को नहीं मिल रहा है। तो जो मुख्य कारण हम लोग देखें कि लोगों की जागरूकता का अभाव है, जानकारी का अभाव है और जो मशीनरी, जो सरकारी मशीनरी जो ब्लॉक लेवल पर, गांव के लेवल पर काम कर रही है उसमें उदासीनता है।
Special emphasis was laid in creating and then strengthening a dynamic relationship between the local, district and the state levels so that the employment opportunities could be created, developed and then equitably made available to the disadvantaged group. The network between the local, district and the state authorities has to be developed adequately so that the opportunities which are created for these people, like the National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, can actually permeate down to the lower strata and benefit those for whom they were formulated. Majority of the population living in these areas belongs to the backward classes who usually are not able to avail of the deserved rights. There are various deterrents responsible for this, whether it be the lack of awareness, illiteracy, the inability of the government policies to reach them, or the sheer negligence on the part of the government officers who are responsible for the execution of these policies. The end result is persistently the same. State welfare schemes like the National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, Midday Meal Scheme, pension schemes, or the public distribution system, which should ideally help in the betterment of these groups, do not even reach them. The extent of this inconsistency can be understood somewhat by looking at the following statistics. Only 52% of these people have been issued job cards under the National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. What's worse is that even with a job card, finding employment is not easy. A survey discloses that in a financial year, a laborer on an average manages to find just 22 days of work instead of the promised 100 days, and that too intermittently. Only 49% of the Dalit families have been able to procure a ration card, though the list of eligible applicants is much longer. And getting a ration card isn't the solution to the travails either, as there is fierce discrimination meted out in the quantity and quality of the grains at the public distribution system shops. Keeping in mind these problems, AIM has set up Rozi Roti Samitis which assist these people in demanding their livelihood rights. This Rozi Roti Samiti started the fight for the implementation of schemes like the National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme first. The measures adopted for these were awareness rallies, pamphlets and posters, books were published and distributed, various kinds of demonstrations and gheraos, issue-based advocacy, mass media like newspapers employed to increase awareness, meetings arranged with various MLAs, MPs and judicial officers, gatherings and meetings arranged.
लोग सारे कार्यक्रमों के बारे में जानने लगे हैं, उसके बारे में अच्छी समझ हो गई है और कैसे प्राप्त होगा इसके लिए लड़ाई लड़ने लगे हैं। ये तमाम इस तरह के जो है रिजल्ट आने लगे हैं, जिससे ये हम लोगों को लग रहा है कि लोगों में ये जागरूकता आ गई और संघर्ष के राह पे चल सकें।
Apart from these, the other measures employed are weekly meetings concerning plans like the National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme have been initiated between the block development officers and the pradhans. meetings have been initiated even at the rural level. In the last 1 year, the efforts to secure food and a source of income has led to the procurement of job cards to 827 people, out of which 128 were women. 454 labourers were able to find employment for 9,888 days. 74 people applied for the unemployment allowance. 313 labourers were assisted in the distribution of their wages. 7 people were provided economic aid to save them from hunger. Constant communication with the government officials. The midday meal scheme was initiated and sustained in 7 villages. 57 women who could not wait for the benefits of the government scheme to participate to them have been involved in income generating schemes by AIM.
रोजी रोटी वाले ने काम दिया है हमको, तो ये पानी पिलाने के लिए तो साथ में पानी पिला रही हूँ। रोजी रोटी के तेरे हमारा काम हल होगी, 100 रुपया मंजूरी मिलती है।
रोजी रोटी में हम जुड़ गए हैं, हमको बकरी मिली है और बकरी से हम पोषण पालन करके और उसको हम भर देंगे।
After taking care of the primary need of food and employment, the next target was illiteracy, which is responsible for the deplorable condition. The literacy rate is only 48% here. The reasons for this are various: poverty, the stigmas attached to belonging to the backward classes, the lack of awareness, etc. The steps taken towards the promotion of literacy are: meetings have been arranged between the various village-level education committees. Meetings arranged between the children and their parents, guardians. Children fairs have been organized. Children marches have been organized. Scholarships have been aided and facilitated. Teachers have been sensitized and made aware. Warm clothes have been distributed to save the students going to school in winters. There have been other steps taken to spread awareness in the people about the health issues. People have been informed about the various government schemes. They have been encouraged to partake of the health facilities timely as per requirement.
तो हम लोगों करने से अब काफ़ी एप्लीकेशन हम लोग आई जिले लखनऊ में और सीमों को जानकारी दी। उसके बाद काफ़ी दिनों के फिर हम लोगों का करीब 1 लाख रुपया आया। फिर 1 लाख हम लोगों की तरक्की 1 लाख रुपया अब सभी जितनी महिलाएं हैं माताएं जाती हैं आराम से केस करवाती हैं और उनको चेकें भी बराबर मिलने लगी।
बच्चा घर था और बहुत हमारे शरीर में सूजन थी और सूजन में रेखा ने वहाँ ले जाकर मैं हमारी जांच करवाई, इलाज करवाया और इलाज करवा के मतलब फिर आराम से हमारा बच्चा वहाँ पैदा हुआ अस्पताल में। उसके बाद हमें चक मिली 1400 की।
Another problem faced by the common people was the discrimination faced on account of the Dalit stature. They have been encouraged to protest against such prejudice and lead their lives with dignity and self-respect. All the programs administered by AIM have been formulated keeping the welfare of women at the core, which has resulted in the formation of the Savitribai Phule Mahila Samiti by these women. The decisions are reached only after discussions amongst groups. Due to the effect of AIM, these people have been able to embark on a life-changing journey of economic and social upliftment and consequently prosperity instead of the unfortunate circumstances in which they lived earlier. It is only hoped that the efforts will prove to be just as effective even in the future, and the success stories will grow more glorious and numerous with each passing effort.